Good afternoon. My name is Donna Feazell, and I'm your host of Donna's Edge television talk show where truth matters. Thank you so much for watching every day, Monday through Friday, beginning 2 p.m. on the Eastern time zone as I get to ride home with you in the afternoon. You may find us on television. We are syndicated on Abundance Television, found on Roku, Apple TV, and Amazon Fire. Don't forget the podcast on thenewscasters.com. And we are with the biggest country giant station here in South Carolina. And it's so fun to be with them, WZLA Radio. And you can find us there on Saturdays at 9 a.m. So I want to thank the guys for letting us be part of their world as well. Continue sending emails, Donna at donnasedge.com, Donna at donnasedge.com. I have with me now a very special friend. His name is Rick Staines, and he's been with us for a number of years. And we get in trouble sometimes about people think we're these like really weird conspiracy theorists, and but we kind of notice stuff, that a lot of folks are busy with their lives. Now we're busy too, but a lot of folks are really, really busy with lives, and they just don't notice some of the really between the lines things that are happening in this world right now. What say you?
That's very true. I mean, it's funny because I don't know if you noticed, there's been an upscaling and proliferation of people wanting to know more about 9/11 in recent months. Even Tucker Carlson, has brought. I mean, I've listened to a lot of the stuff he's brought up as well. Been bringing up. So people do. They just want to find out answers to things that didn't seem correct at the time that we were hearing about them.
Well, one of those things. The planes, the way they crashed into the building never made sense. It's like two planes caused everything to disintegrate. And
so that's a good point. So you take that. So they said that those two buildings collapsed because of those two planes and the jet fuel. Well, we know that jet fuel doesn't burn hot enough to melt steel. We also know that the after the planes supposedly hit or did hit, there were still people standing in the orifices left by the said planes. So there were people alive, but the building disintegrated from the core, from the basement, basically, from the core. But then when you go to the Pentagon, okay, before you see the pictures that they're always giving you, which is where the roof has collapsed, there was a 20-foot hole, basically 16 to 20-foot hole, and it was round. Okay. Mm-hmm. People go, well, it was a plane. No, it wasn't a plane because there was no tail, there was no wings, and those engines, which don't disintegrate, by the way, there was nothing anywhere to say that a plane had hit that building. But if you look at the pictures afterwards, even after the roof had collapsed, what do you see? You see paper not burned. You see desks not burned. You see a lot of stuff that's untouched by anything. Yeah, if they want you to believe.
You just made it. Okay, so if it disintegrated from the bottom, why would everything not be ash?
Well, it was once the building had collapsed because they were literally, it was controlled explosions. It turned everything into ash. Because what they found in there was thermatic particles, which means that thermite was used. Okay. Even in the report, which it wasn't actually put in the report, weeks after the building, when they were still working on the basement, there was still molten thermite. There was molten steel running around, but it was never mentioned in the report. So there's loads of things they don't actually tell you. It's like the one that crashed into the field. Okay. The mayor turned up, was one of the first people on site, and they asked him, what did he see He said, there was just a hole. There was nothing else, just a hole. Now, I've seen enough plane crashes. You've seen enough plane crashes. There's no debris. There's no bodies. There's no nothing. He just said it went straight into the ground. Doesn't happen like that. So when they described what went into the ground, it sounded more like a cruise missile than a plane. And then people go, well, what about the people on the planes? They're already dead. They're already dead because if they're going to crash those planes and they got, 300 people between 3 or 4 planes, they've already told, they're dead because they're not going to survive this because they can't tell the story. So it just goes on and on and on and on. There's so many unanswered questions about.
I find it really interesting too, though. And I've never been a Bush fan. Now, I felt sorry for baby Bush when he was president because all that happened during his terms. But what I'm talking about is people don't question anything. And I don't know, I'm not an engineer, but I have an engineer's mind. I want to take things apart and figure it out. So I voted for Ross Perot when Daddy Bush and Clinton were running for president. I didn't like either one of them. Well, mother, the Republican, and dad, the Democrat. So mother was like, well, he's a Republican. I'm like, but he's talking about world order. I mean, that's not a good thing, is it? That you've got somebody who's talking about the world order. To me, it seemed like he was part of a plot. He's that's why I can't trust a Republican, Democrat. I can't trust either one of them. I liked Ross Perot. He was like a businessman, and he was just, I don't know. What got me with him, his employees were kidnapped, and they were out in Saudi Arabia. It may have been Afghanistan. But anyway, they were kidnapped. Well, he didn't want to wait on the red tape of the government rescuing his employees, so he did it himself. He hired his own team to go rescue them. That's when I said, I'm him. I want that guy. He probably won't get it, but I'm voting for him.
Yeah, it's funny you mentioned him because I watched him the other day on stage during one of the debates. And the way that he answered the question was actually, rock solid. At the time, I probably wasn't even interested in any of that stuff. But the question, I can't remember what the question was, but everything he said, like, okay, that would actually work. That was actually a logical thing. The trouble is with the Bushes, the Bushes are part of a dynasty. They're part of the bad thing.
They're in the oil business. So that would tell you one thing. That would tell you a lot. And I can't get it out of my mind. Baby Bush walking off with the king holding hands with him. What was his name? That's their custom. They hold hands and blah, blah. It doesn't mean they're gay or anything like that, but they were walking off holding hands. What that told me is that those two were in total agreement with each other. Mm-hmm. It didn't matter if it sold out the United States. You're in agreement with them. Now, I would be one of them, look, I'm going to respect you for what you are. Okay, I'm respecting you. I didn't like Obama, but I would have interviewed him. I would have respected that he held the office of President of the United States. That I would have interviewed him. But my point is you're going by their custom. You're walking off hand in hand with this guy. That's saying you believe his customs. That's saying you believe his warfare.
So I think that's the difference between, when I say us, the normal people, because you listen to somebody even if their views aren't what your views are. The trouble is we have a complete opposite side that won't even let you have a voice. They'll tell you that free speech is, they want free speech for everybody, but they don't want to give you free speech to say what you want to say. We see it a lot. We see it all over the place. They'll even the ones that have crossed over and gone to a Republican rally, and they've realized the difference between what they see at their rallies and what they see at the Republican rallies, where they're welcomed in, they're talked to like a human being, they're given they can talk about what they need, what they think, and there's no one with a klaxon or a handheld going screaming at them or doing all the stuff that the left do when you try and say anything to them, because they're different. They tell you what they want and they tell you what you think they want, and then they don't give you what you should have and what you want to, which is freedom of speech. You don't
Yeah,
have
but
freedom of
that's
speech.
all this nonsense. Like, okay, you've got the government shut down. Okay, so people are talking about, oh, grandma's not going to get her Social Security check. Well, mother got hers just like clockwork. I mean, so that's a lie. They're
Yeah.
saying all these things, and they have so many followers. People, well, I saw it on Facebook. I believe it. No, it's not true. It is not true. Is my mother more special than anybody else's mother? My mother got her Social Security check actually 2 days earlier than she normally gets it.
Well, even if you look at the big picture just recently, I mean, in the last couple of days where they asked, all the states to give the numbers, and 21 of the states said no, and actually started to sue the USDA because they didn't like it. I think two of the states sued the SDA because they well, why are you asking us this? Because there's so much fraud, because most of the people are either, they're dead, don't exist, or they're illegal. And this is the problem, and even goes on to what we already know. We already know this happens because this is how they win elections, because they use dead people, and now they want to use illegal aliens to put in votes. It's the same. You talk about no kings, right? So what do? They go up in arms about no kings. We don't want no kings. Trump thinks he's a king. Okay, well, look at Gavin Newsom. Look at Gavin Newsom and tell you what he's telling you, what he wants. And I guarantee you, if he becomes president, this country's gone to hell in a handbasket. It really has, because he can't even run California properly.
Okay, it looks as if people that are for this bunch of thugs would think about this. Okay, so during the shutdown, Nancy Pelosi, who's her nephew is Gavin Newsom. Okay, so she was in her home bragging about her designer ice cream. And I mean, I'm telling that freezer was just stacked full. I hope she got as fat as a cow. But anyway, she's designer ice cream. And they're telling you can't go get your hair cut. You can't go to the beauty shop. You can't do. Well, she did. Is that not a queen mentality? Like everybody else has to not get their hair fixed. But I'm going to get mine fixed.
Yeah. Even to the point where everything that they were telling you, going through COVID, everything they were telling is all staged. Because when they left the cameras rolling, before an announcement, they were all on stage. None of them had masks on. And then when they knew that they were going live, when they're going to go record, masks, and they all put their masks on. So you tell me, and I've had arguments with people about that. They go, well, it's real serious. I'm like, if you believe that it is as serious as they were saying, then you're stupid. Because all it was, I said, this was talked about years ago. I said, Moderna did a deal with the US government years ago because this was already there. It's just in line. When are we going to use it? And when did they use it? Just as Trump come in. Or was going out, and so a lot of it they blamed on him, and then the rest of it, now Biden saved the world. I said it's all just, we're on a big stage. We're all bit actors on a big stage. Whatever they want, they're gonna put out there, And it is the old adage. But if you're looking over here at this, what's going on over here? Because it's all about deflection. It's all about deflection, because when Charlie Kirk was killed, what was going on? The government, they were voting on the Epstein files. So you didn't hear about the Epstein files because Charlie Kirk's been killed, and that took over the whole media.
Even the people who didn't like him. I mean, everybody was talking about him. Everybody. Yeah.
It's just distraction. It's all smoke and mirrors, because if they don't want you to hear about something, they're going to create a false flag or an incident that's going to distract and take you away from where you need to be looking.
Okay, let me ask you if you think this statement is true. Okay, is all the world, not us, not everyday walking around people, but I'm talking about world leaders, the world. Is the world nothing but a big Hollywood setting? And the reason I'm saying that is, if you'll notice, and I know you have, okay, every time an event happens, Clinton, when Bill Clinton was found out about, the chubby girl that he had the affair with, there was the movie Wag the Dog that was out. And it was him to a T, the movie Wag the Dog. Okay. in different movies. But 10 years ago, before COVID hit, there was another movie written. I mean, it was about that. Basically, people had to walk around with face masks. And, oh, by the way, the government sent us face masks, like 500 of them. We didn't ask for them; they just sent them. And really, all it looked like was underwear. It was like really, really thin, and you could just do like this at the window, and you could see through it. You could see through it. So my question was, what's this guarding against? You can still breathe through that. It's just a mask. It was a ploy.
Yeah.
I see how many people would wear a mask.
Even now, when I traveled last week, even now there are people that getting on a plane with a face mask, and that's personal choice. That's personal choice of, because obviously if you go to China, they wear masks all the time because of, that's China. But over here, you kind of look at them and go like, okay, yes, sheep, because it's not actually going to, it's not actually going to protect you from anything. It's just there as it's a symbol, It's a symbol. It's a symbol. And this is
they had all people fall for it.
The virtue signaling, which is, that's the other thing that I really can't stand, is the virtual signaling. All these people right now going on about Palestine, and they haven't got a clue. They haven't got a clue. Go live there and come back and have the same opinion that you've got now. Mm-hmm. Because I guarantee you won't. Because it's not what you think it is. It never has been. And if you were a Jew living in Israel, you would realize that you are a minority surrounded by a majority. And every one of those would love to see you obliterated. So that's why they have an aggressive stance on a lot of things, because most people in that area want to wipe them out and have tried to do so since the formation of that country.
So
if you look at the Palestinian thing, Hamas run Palestine. All the original Palestinian leaders, they don't live in Palestine. They live in other Arab countries. They're not there. They're not doing, and all the money that's ever been put into giving those people help has been used to build the network of tunnels and everything else going into Israel, so Hamas can go in there and do their sneak attacks or whatever they want to do, and none of it's gone to the refugees. None of them's gone to the Palestinian people.
Well, the Clinton Foundation, when the hurricane came through, and people gave just tons of money. I mean, they gave tons. Yeah. Well, then why are all those Haitians coming over here? Because now the Clintons were going to fix that. I mean, everybody's going to get a new house. I mean, it wouldn't be the Taj Mahal, but it would be something better, a heck of a lot better than what they had before. The thing about it is, it still looked like a third world country. And as a matter of fact, it still looks like one in the sense that people keep coming here. They keep coming to the United States. Well, if it was so great, the Clintons made it great. They made Haiti good again, great again. Well, if they did, why are they coming here?
Right. Well, because they didn't. That's the problem. All that money never got there. It went to the Clintons, and it went into their foundation, and wherever else it went after that. That's the problem with, even in California, they're telling them now, if you when you rebuild your house, it has to be raised up. It's got to be raised up. It's got to be a certain height. The cost of raising those houses is way beyond most people's scope. So they've also said, if you can't afford that, then you don't build your house. You don't get to have a house. There's always something with the left. There's always something extra with the left. Oh, you can do this, but if you do this, it's going to cost you this. And if you can't afford that, then we're just going to take it.
Have you ever heard the old Southern talk? The old Southern is a slogan kind of. And they say the guilty dog is the one who barks first. Have you heard of that? Mm-hmm. Okay, so what's going on now? The government shut down, people's food stamps being taken away, and all this kind of stuff. First of all, I believe in the program. I know it sounds like a shock, but I believe in it. Not as a career choice, but I do believe in it. Sometimes people need a helping hand, so I'm for it. But the ones who are barking are the ones who don't need to be on it. And the women all seem to be overweight, and they got tattoos, they got these false eyelashes, they got these long fingernails and all that. And I'm thinking, well, spend some of that money you spend on tattoos and your false eyelash and stuff on food for your kids. They're saying, my kids are starving. My kids are hungry. They're, well, then I wouldn't spend money on stupid stuff. I would be spending it on food. And this is what I think needs to happen. Okay. Like me, I don't spend a whole lot of money on groceries. First one, I raise a lot of my stuff. And then we'll buy like half a cow and put it in the freezer, and it lasts much longer than anything you'll ever buy at the grocery store. Now it costs more up front, but actually it costs a lot less in the long run because you're not throwing food away. You're keeping it. And so why not buy staple products? I did that. I was divorced once. So for a very short period of time, I picked myself back up again. But for a while, Brad and I ate rice. We ate biscuit and gravy. That we lived off of that for a little while until I could do better. I did not want food stamps. I did not want welfare. I didn't want any of that kind of stuff. I was just like, no child support, no nothing. So, but if I can do it, anybody else can. But now also I didn't get my nails done. Right. We didn't have cable TV. There were things we did without to make ends meet. And I think it was probably a good lesson for Brad too, because he was there doing that. He remembers all that.
The trouble is the government want you, there are parts of the government that want you or want people to rely on them, that they be the be all and end all. Because at the end of the day, it's going to be, if you look at the way that things are going, everything being like robotic, computer, AI, everything, there's going to be less jobs. There's going to be a bigger welfare system. The government love that because they have complete control over you. They want complete control over you anyway. They've already said that. I mean, you look at Britain, they want to go for the digital ID, and people go like, well, I don't want a digital ID. We kind of got a digital ID anyway, because every time you go online and you agree to something and you click a little box to say, yes, you can do this, and yes, you can. I said, you're building up this digital profile. They know exactly where you go. They know exactly what you do. That's why you get all the ads pop up. Because it's not just about your phone listening, it's everything you do digitally is being tracked, and it's going to be pointing back to you, and they go, we know what you're doing. They love that sort of control, because it comes to a point now. I saw it was actually an ad from China, where the girl, she wakes up in the morning and she's out, and it's telling her that now she's getting very close to the amount of travel that she can before she gets cut off. Then she gets to the store and they said, no, you've had your meat quota for the week or month. You can't have that. You've got to have this. And then she gets caught speeding. So that's another 75 credits taken off of her because she's now been a bad citizen because she's speeding. Okay. And there's things just tracking her for her whole life. And you go like, why would you? It's almost like Minority Report, which is actually a scary film when you watch it and go, do I want to be down that? Do I want to go down that road? We're already at Terminator level, okay, where they're creating, robotic systems that are technically as smart as us, if not smarter. Okay, you've got AI powering pretty much everything. I just invested in NVIDIA, okay? If you're not investing in chip companies right now, then because they can't make enough chips because AI is growing so quickly. We're at that point in humanity where we're going to go like, we're just going to surrender this to machines and to computers and be under control of a government or even new world order, because that's where they want to go. The new world order. They want everybody to be a citizen of the world, no borders, which is scary.
Pretty darn interesting. Yeah. And even playing back now to the 1980s when Papa Bush and Bill Clinton were running against each other. And actually, Papa Bush scared me more than Bill Clinton did because he was talking about the New World Order.
Yes.
On the campaign trail. And people were just like, well, I don't know that could be that big of a deal. Well, I think so. I think it could be that big of a deal. And I was a brainless young person here. I was like in my 20s when this was going on. Even I figured that out.
If you look at all the movies throughout the years, when they have like a central government, all the futuristic ones where they have a central government and, everything's through like one place. Logan's Run, a great old movie, where when you were 30 they were saying you got enlightened and you went, well, they were basically killing you. Anybody over 30, they didn't want, you were going to die. But they made it, they sugarcoated it, made it look like you were going somewhere else, but you weren't. He was actually going to die. And Logan would work this one out, and then he gets out and runs out the city because there was the forbidden zone. You couldn't go into the forbidden zone because you die. Well, when he went into the forbidden zone, he didn't die. You know, so all these things they got, like, they open your eyes. You go like, I'd hate it to be like that. You know, because they always, these dystopian futures that I was like, no, I don't want that. Don't take me there. Don't take us there.
Milk in Abbeville, South Carolina. I'm happy.
Yeah. I mean, right now we're lucky. I mean, I consider myself lucky, like probably you do, because I'm outside the cities. I mean, I live in a decent part of the country. You know, I have freedom to move around. I have freedom to do stuff. And, you know, I will defend this with what I've got. But, you know, for me now to live in a city, and I went back to Michigan, just the traffic alone. And then there's just the humans that you come across, and you just go like, I can't do this. I can't do this anymore. I mean, I can deal with the small amount of humans we have here because this is nice, and I can deal with the humans in the family because that's okay. But when you start getting to the cities, and you go like, nah, this is a rat race, you know, and all the crazy stuff, even like England, you know, with the guy on the train, because it was supposed to be two guys, but it was actually one guy on the train. Just randomly stabbing somebody, you know, people, you know, put 10 people in hospital, you know, 2 of them seriously. I mean, you know, life-changing injuries. You know, you go, why do I want to live in this crazy world? But then, you know, out of that, you see somebody like the one guy that took action, you know, got stabbed 6 times for doing it. Just a regular person to just, you know, this is not going to happen. Had it not been for him and for the other person who was one of the staff, and then the train driver who decided to divert the train from its line to Huntington, we're calling emergency because people were calling
some kind of a movie to you. I mean, it seems like we're living out movie clips in all the different things that are happening.
Yeah, when you think about movies and shows. You know, remember Criminal Minds? Criminal Minds was a great show. Mm-hmm. But you think about most of the content on that and go like, there's someone sitting here thinking this stuff up and just putting it out there for us to watch because it's entertainment. And there's somebody sitting in a room somewhere going like, I'm going to do that. Mm-hmm. That's how scary this is. You know, so all the movies we make, oh, yeah, they're really good. Yeah. But there's someone out there, I mean, especially with the violent and the crime versions, people are out there thinking, I can do that.
Oh, and think about this. The violent and crime movies that are being made in Hollywood, these are the people who are anti-guns.
Mm-hmm. Oh, yeah.
So it's like an oxymoron. It's like, okay, if I really didn't believe in guns, then I'd say, look, I'm not going to be in your movie. I don't care how much money you're going to pay me. I've got my beliefs, and I'm not going to act that out. I'm just not going to do it.
Liam Neeson.
Ed Begley, the movie star Ed Begley. Mm-hmm. This guy, I think he's a lunatic, and I don't think he's very smart. But I will say this: at least he really he puts his money where his mouth is. He does not own a car. Right. He walks everywhere he goes. He raises his vegetables. He really believes in this climate change thing. I mean, he really believes it. But he's not a hypocrite about it. You don't find him on a jet plane going to a meeting in Iceland. This guy really believes it.
But he's still an idiot for believing something that, you know. But anyway, it's like Liam Neeson. Hates guns, as anti-gunner. All of his movies, he's got guns in it. Roger Moore played James Bond. He actually hated guns. He hated guns. And to be honest with you, most of his movies with James Bond, very rarely did you have, I mean, the early ones you did, but as they went on, very rarely did he have a gun. You might have seen it, but he never fired it. You know, he never shot anybody. So, you know, I mean, again, they're making money, but then on the other side, they go like, yeah, well, we don't believe in this. Yeah, but you play a super spy or you play this action hero who has a gun all the time. If you really want to stand behind your argument, don't make those kind of films. Go work at Hallmark, make a nice Christmas movie or something, you know?
That's the point. So let me ask you a question about, do you think that the essence of all this is about population control? And let me tell you why I think that. Okay, I think we're going to go through some really terrible times. I really do, because there's no other way for it to go. But the ones who are going to get the first ones are the believers in the government. It's going to be the ones that have never worked a day in their life. It's been a career for them to make food stamps, welfare. They don't know what's a seed. They don't know any of these things. I think we'll be the survivors. I think we'll be the ones that'll make it because we know how to. But when you've lived in the city forever, you don't know anything about saving money. You blow money like crazy. And I've got a simple solution to the food stamp thing, or SNAP. Excuse me, SNAP sounds better than food stamps. It's the same thing, but I've got a solution for that. Okay, people on commodities like they did, and give them staple products. I'm talking about give them rice. Rice can go a long way, and I love Spanish rice. I could eat rice every day. Rice, dried beans, milk powders, cheese. Give them. It's got to be a balanced diet. I promise you, it's going to be better than what they're eating now. Okay. I think one of the craziest things ever invented was a frozen peanut butter and jelly sandwich. I think that's dumb. I can't help it. Not when and look, you can make so many sandwiches out of one loaf of bread and a jar of peanut butter and buy your jam if you don't want to make your own. You can do that. It would be so much cheaper than buying one box of frozen peanut butter and jelly sandwiches.
The problem we have with all of the food stamp shit is the fact that the stuff you're allowed to buy is all preservatives, it's all additives, and it's all bad for you. And that is another thing. Well, yeah, because they make, the manufacture of food and the chemical content of food is ridiculous. Even on a loaf of bread, just a standard loaf of bread, okay? And you look, all you want in there is whole wheat. First of all, whole wheat, not cracked wheat, not any additive, not white, not bleached, just whole wheat. That's the first thing you want. Then you want no sugar. The trouble is, if you don't put any sugar in the bread, it can be, especially with whole wheat, can be very bitter. Gives a bitter taste. This is why they add sugar to it. Some slices of bread, you have 2 slices of bread and you've got there's a lot of sugar in that. So, again, it goes back to self-sufficiency. You can make your own bread. It just takes a little bit of time.
And it's not.
You made some the other day.
It's not that difficult.
No, homemade bread. Don't need a bread maker. People think, I can't afford a bread maker. No, you don't.
All that. The best tools in the kitchen right here, your hands.
Hands. If you've got a mixer, you can use a mixer, and then you just need bread tins. That's it. Okay, you can make bread. She does homemade butter. You can just buy buttermilk and go through the process. Just have your mixer and it'll make butter for you, and you can just put it in little packs, and we do like little packs of it. Homemade jam, homemade lemon curd. I love it. I found one the other day.
How do you make that?
Oh, I don't know, but I'll find out and I'll let you know. But I've
heard of it. I've heard it's good.
I love it. The grape jelly, because I don't like grape jelly as Americans serve it, because it's just, she makes it and it's like, oh my God, it's so nice. Strawberry jam. And then she does the mixed jam.
Strawberry jam's best.
Yeah. Homemade strawberry and raspberry jam. Oh, so good. Mm-hmm. It's a mixture. So you get the best of both worlds. Because I like raspberry, because I like the I don't know, I like the taste. I like strawberries, but I don't like the strawberry chunks in there. I like the smooth.
I love the strawberry. That makes it.
No, not for me, it don't.
Okay, we're going to have to go into a commercial break. I'm getting hungry. Okay, we'll be right back in just a few minutes. Why did you have to do that, Rick? Okay, we'll be right back.
Queen City Used Car Sales has been serving drivers in the Northeast Alabama area for years with a quality selection of late model used cars, SUVs, and pickup trucks. On top of our extensive selection and competitive prices, we offer professional auto financing services for used car buyers of all credit levels. Whether you've just begun your search or you're ready to secure your next vehicle, at Twin City Used Car Sales, you will drive away with the vehicle of your dreams. The sales and finance staff at Twin City Used Car Sales looks forward to serving you, and you can apply for financing online before your visit to our used dealership in Gadsden, Alabama. Check us out on the web at twincityusedcars.com or go by our location at 901 First Avenue, Gadsden, Alabama. We sincerely look forward to serving you. At Lamone's Mexican Restaurant, located in Henniger, Alabama, and voted Best Mexican Restaurant of DeKalb County, Alabama 2020, we're here to serve you with authentic Mexican cuisine. Order easily online by going to lamonsmex.com or call 256-657-3999 to place your order. We're open Sunday through Thursday 11 a.m. to 9 p.m. and Friday and Saturday 11 a.m. to 10 p.m. Whether you're celebrating a cozy date night for two or a celebration for a crowd, at Lamone's you'll love our atmosphere and friendly servers. Thank you for dining with Lamone's Mexican Restaurant.
Are you ready?
We all wonder what tomorrow will bring, but the future lays itself at the feet of the prepared and surrenders to the will of the persistent. It's not easy, but today shapes you so you can shape tomorrow. With Northeast Alabama Community College, when the future asks if you're ready, you can answer
yes.
Begin your future at Northeast Alabama Community College.
Okay, we're back. My name is Donna, and I am your host of Donna's Edge television talk show where truth matters. I wanted to welcome one of our newest sponsors, and that's My Patriot Supply. So glad they are a part of our world. I'm going to tell you, I love this place. A lot of people think it's just for preppers. No, it's for everybody. And they have some great, great food there. And they're running a very good special. Go to my website, donnasedge.com. donnasedge.com. You'll see a link. All you got to do is click on that. They're running so many specials. It's just a good thing. It's a good thing. If you don't preserve food, you don't want to think about putting some back. I'm not talking about the end of the world, catastrophic, none of that stuff. I'm talking about the supply chain. I mean, things could happen at any moment with this. We've all had to go through that with the toilet paper stuff. You remember that? Yeah, back in the COVID. Okay, we don't have to go through that again. It's a good time to put back food. And some people say, well, it's kind of pricey. Well, not really. It's not. You got to put it back. Food's going up. I mean, if you don't raise your own, and you're going to be in a world of hurt. I'd go ahead and have it a stash put back at least 3 months worth, okay, just in case something happened. But it's a good time to do it. Go to donnasedge.com. You'll find My Patriot Supply. There are a bunch of good folks there. But they do things like I do it. That's how they preserve it, the natural way. So go ahead and take a look at it. I want to thank all of our great sponsors for being with us as well. Rick Staines has been with me a long, long time.
I know. So, I'm 21 going on 60.
Yeah, something like that. But thanks for being with me today. And it's kind of like the country mouse and the city mouse right there. You're the city mouse. I'm the country mouse. And but y'all learned a lot from you, Rick.
I wouldn't say I was a city mouse.
Wait a minute. What part of England are you from? Was it the southern part?
Yeah, I was. So I was born in East London. So, like in the sound of Bow Bells. So I'm technically a Cockney, a true Londoner. But at an early age, we moved out to Suffolk. So I was actually raised in a market town in Suffolk, which is actually, I love Suffolk. I could live in Suffolk. It's so you got Norfolk, which is the North folk, and then the South folk, and then you've got Essex. So that nice little hump that you see in Britain, I'm right in the middle part of that. So I was raised in the country, which is why when I came here to Georgia and bought this farm, it felt like I'd gone full circle.
Mhm.
because I'm back in the country. I'm back where I feel content, happy. I used to fruit pick as a kid. I hate plums because I used to go plum picking and made to eat them, and I don't like them. Never have done and never will do. Gooseberries, no. Bitter, nasty gooseberries. I love the strawberries and I love the all the other stuff that we picked. But I know I grew up in the country. And then, like when I was 9, almost 10, we moved back inland a little bit to a new town. It was more, sea, but only a small place, not massive, although it's got bigger now. So I grew up in the country in England too.
Well, I guess we're both country then.
Yeah, I'm more country than I am city. I
Mhm.
prefer the country to the city.
Oh, I do too. Yeah, I got to be able to get out. Yeah. Oh, my chickens are doing great, by the way.
Okay, good.
We had this little surprise rooster, and we got him quarantined from the hens. He's doing his own. So anyway, we're going to be giving away a rooster. And now when you buy your chickens from a place like Tractor Supply, so they can't guarantee 100% you're getting hens. And but I'm gonna tell you what, they are like pets. And so I don't want to keep the rooster. I don't want to kill any of them. We just want them for the eggs. And they actually come to you like dogs. I mean, they're so sweet. But now we treat them sweet.
Because
We reward them.
Yes.
You know what's real fun to do though? Buy a broccoli or maybe a watermelon. Raise your own. It's the best if you raise your own. But anyway, put it on some wire and just hang it down from the roof of their house. They have a party. I mean, they love eating fruit like that.
Cool.
Especially broccoli. And it's fun because it just kind of swings back and forth and you'll watch them all trying to eat broccoli.
Yeah, we're actually getting closer. We're looking at we've been looking at the chicken houses. We're going to start off with a small one first of all, see how we get on. We have a loose plan, so yesterday our water level in our pond has dropped, and for the first time we have a little spigot in the middle, and I can see the spigot, which means that we're now 8 foot from the bottom.
Mhm.
It's dropped that much. I've got a white sandy beach around my pond.
Oh,
So last year when it got to its highest, it was actually overflowing from the top edge. That's how much water's dropped. A lot of it is to do with the Hyundai plant up in Pembroke, because it's actually wrecked a lot of the water table in this area because they need so much water to cool, run the cools, to cool the systems down. And I don't know if that has directly affected us, or it's just that we've had a very dry summer. And we've also had a very dry winter right now. So we actually had to turn the water on from the well to put into the pond, which makes it's kind of stupid, but it works. So we went to turn it all on, and we find like there's maybe a 10-foot section between the spigot in the field and where it's supposed to come out and hit the pipe and go into the pond. There's no water getting there. It's either that it's collapsed under the weight of the earth there because it had no shielding. I don't think it had any shielding around it. So I've now got to I've got to dig that up and put another one in there. But I'm just not going to put the underground valve because it gets buried. I'm just going to put a hose pipe through it. So you can disconnect the hose pipe or connect it up depending on whether you want to use it or not. Makes more sense to me. So I've got to do that, and there's a couple of other things we've got to do. Straighten up all the fences because we've had a fence priced for the front of the property, which is going to be like a 3-bar fence from one side to the other with gates.
lovely. Nice.
Very chintzy.
Are you going to have goats?
Thinking about getting goats, which is why we want to get the fences internally fixed because they're all wire fences. So we get them all straightened up, all fixed, so we can actually run the electric current through them. Keep the goats in place.
Mm-hmm. Good luck.
Keep the deer out too, because the deer love just trying to jump the fences.
Mm-hmm.
So.
Yeah, I love all that stuff. I think it's kind of cool. Yeah, I mean, but to be self-sufficient is just an awesome thing.
I'm also working on another project for work. So we do a department appreciation. It's we do a department appreciation. We've done it for the last 3 years, where every year we give like a little presentation of each department and why, what goes on within that the department, so that other people can appreciate that. So we were set the task at the end of last year that this year we were going to have to make either an advert or a music video for our department. So earlier this year, I actually AI'd lyrics. I took what I had as an outline and just threw it into AI and just said, "I make a song up about this," and it came up with a very good song. But since that point, we've missed it so many times now to actually do this department appreciation because the work's been so busy, the schedule's been out, that I've actually taken the song again and run it through again and put it back in, because I had the song made in Suno, and the AI engine is so good now, and now it's got to, like, it sounds much better. The voices they use are much better, and I played it to my department, and I said, what we're going to do is I'm going to do the main lip sync. You guys are all going to be the backing singers. So I green screened all of those so that I can do it on the farm, so that they'll be here on the farm in the finished product with the farm behind them, even though they did it in the office.
That would be interesting. That's going to be really neat. You put stuff like that together reasonably easy nowadays.
You can. I mean, if I really wanted to, I could make it completely AI, but I don't want to do that. I want, and I hate the terms, the corporate terms. I want it a little bit more organic. The two words there's actually, there's any blockers. Sometimes there are any blockers. Keeping it organic, and then the other one is we've got to pivot. It's like, I hate corporate talk.
Yeah, I do too. I don't think I could be in the corporate world now. Probably wouldn't last too long, because I have too many questions about things. And I have a question for you. This pertains to Charlie Kirk.
Mm-hmm.
What's really behind all of that? Because it just seems something wrong. It seems so, and I'm going to say it, and I'm going to make people mad. His wife doesn't seem to mourn like I thought she should. I mean, I know not everybody's like me, and I'm not really a crier either. I'm really not. But I don't know. I think there would be. I would have to say, you know what? The show can't go on for a few months. Y'all are going to have to do it without me. I've got to have some time. This is a lot to take in. I can't do it.
And I think, I mean, we're not trying to undermine the memory or the guy, but
no, I think he was an awesome guy.
Yeah. And I did too, and I had a conversation the other day, and someone said, well, you didn't like Charlie Kirk. I said, no, that's not the point.
Oh, yeah, I did. That's the problem. I liked him.
I said, we're trying to establish how, why, when, what, where, all the questions that you should be asking, and what's going on now, and why is that going on, that it just doesn't seem right, or it doesn't seem real. It just seems a little bit like forced or fake, that, normal, regular people, if you lost someone that was your father of your child, the love of your life, and that you can just bounce back like that, like nothing's happened, take over his company, get voted in as like chairman, CEO, whatever, and then go from this conservatively dressed woman to this woman that comes out in a t-shirt and tight leather pants. Where are you going with this, and why are you doing this? Because is that honoring his memory? Are you grieving? Have you got over your grieving? Because again, everybody's different, but it just raises questions.
Nothing says I'm ready to get out there than leather pants. I'm just sorry.
I wear them all the time. They chafe.
Yeah, I'm just saying. I mean, if nothing, okay. So I'm a Type A personality. I have to pull myself back sometimes from some things, not to appear so overly aggressive. Especially when I was living in Alabama, I scared the heck out of people. But I'm just saying,
You scared me.
Someone, yeah, right. I'm just saying there are times that you kind of have to pull yourself back. Does she have I don't know. A lot of people would have a person to kind of help them through a process and maybe say, I don't think I'd do the leather pants today, sweetheart, because it's really, I know you mean no harm in it and it's just part of your world. You love to wear leather pants. But I'm just saying, hon, I don't think now would be the time to wear the leather pants. You might want to wait just a little bit longer, at least a couple more weeks. Don't wear the leather pants.
I don't know.
Advisors.
Yeah.
I think you would have told me. I think if something happened to Phil and I was going to do something like that, I think you'd have said, hey, whoa, I don't think you need to wear that.
Yeah.
I think you'd tell me that.
Yeah, we don't know. The trouble is we don't know enough. You only see, because it's almost like you only see things, again, you see things in small snippets. It's all like, I mean, we have this world we live in 30-second snippets, 15-second snippets, and anything more than that, people just switch off. We don't have enough background. We don't have enough context. So we don't know really anything. It's all people just making comment and surmising what they believe. Again, just like the news, it's all about their opinion rather than fact. I mean, if you look at it from a factual point of view, like, okay, well, do you mourn like this? She may. I won't. Why does she dress like this? Because I wouldn't. So, but we only get the snippets of it. We don't get the full story. And sometimes we need the full story. We need someone to just go in there and go like, okay, I'm going to sit down with her and ask her these questions because these are questions we need the answers to. Mm-hmm. What's going on? Why are you doing this? But we're never going to get that.
No, you'll never, ever get that. But this is something I've learned from politicians. There's one that's the mayor of a town. You and I used to live in this town. Okay. And so this is what he would do. So election year, he would do this every single time. He would have someone take a picture of him standing in front of the First Baptist Church or whatever church. And I've seen him do this. Okay, so what he would do is he would stand there long enough, like he had his Bible in his arm. He was about to go walk into the church door. As soon as the photographer left, he'd walk down the steps and go home. Mm-hmm. But see, he had that little snippet. He had that one little picture right there. And of course, it made the front page. There he is going into church with his Bible. Well, the truth being told, behind the scenes, he left and went home.
No different from today with all these influencers. People aspiring to be an influencer, which means some people make a lot of money. Some people do. They make a very lot of money on this, but you have nothing. You can go stand by a Porsche, or you could go stand by a Ferrari or Lamborghini, have your picture taken and go like, yeah, this is my new whip. And people will actually believe that is. And it gets pushed out there and you got more views.
Why don't people question things? It's just, there are certain things that just don't seem, it's not right.
Well, I think that there is more now that you get people do question it, because you look at the comments, most people go like, oh, that's fake, that's AI, that's not you, I've seen you, I remember you, or I know that car and it's so-and-so's car, not your car. So you do get people out there. It's just the fact that people still have, and again, the temerity to do it, thinking that they're going to get away with it, because they're not. Because the trouble is there's a lot of online sleuths too. You want to find somebody online, just post it up on social media. There's somebody out there that will find whoever you're looking for and give you all their information, because they're very good at it. I know a few people that if you gave them a snippet of information, they would come back with a whole ream of information for you about that person. It's easy to do.
It's really easy. There's because I like to study. I was the geek in school. Okay, so I like to research. It's something about it. It's a bug for me. So her parents, and you and I both know this. Her parents are. It's something you need to do your research on it. Okay, before you go whole hog into something, you really need to do research. I'm not degrading Charlie Kirk at all. I think he was an awesome guy. I really do. And I've seen more than just little snippets about him. I mean, I've seen full-length videos where he's talking to college kids.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, I mean, he was. I mean, very super smart guy. I mean, would let you have your voice, would let you talk, would let you put your viewpoint across. He may not agree with you, but he did it in a way that, I mean, I only saw him one time where the guy was getting agitated and, he kind of like put him down a little bit, but then the guy kind of deserved to be put down. And that's the problem. Some people think that they can just say what they want and get away with it. And you can't come back and knock them down a peg, because sometimes, like in the old days, you knock them down a peg. Either you give them a good smack in the mouth or you give them a good verbal talking to. It was there to bring them down to a level where they didn't think they got too big for their boots. Because that's a lot of the trouble is, we have people that are very, very entitled these days. Very, very entitled. I know a few people that are they're very good friends that are very entitled. They believe that they are due everything that they can get. In fact, case in point, so my friend had just got an Amex card, the purple Amex card that I've got. And he got the promotion was for 75,000 miles when you get to so much money in the first 3 months. Well, then he just found out the day I was with him that they'd ended that promotion and just changed the promotion to 125,000 miles. So he calls and literally is begging them to give him the 125,000 miles because he missed out on it because he signed up for that. And I'm like, why do you do that? He goes, well, they're giving it away. I said, you're just very entitled. Why don't you just let it go? Because if it was me on the other end of the phone, I'd be going like, no, you were under that promotion and it was from this date to this date. When you signed up, you got what you got. You're not going to get this one. And because his boss goes, well, he's going to get what he gets because that's what he does. And I'm like, but can you not see why that just grinds my gears? Because it's like, not just that, it's everything.
You know what? There was a commercial used to come on a long time. It was, I forgot, hair color, makeup or something. And the woman said, oh, it was L'Oreal. She said, L'Oreal, because I'm worth it. And I used to look at that thinking, how smug moron. Why are you worth it? Are you like a queen or an empress or something? Or and that has been the attitude. That's been because I'm worth it. I'm such a high up person. But I'm noticing the people who are making it in this world are the people who have a servant's heart. They are the people who want to see people do better. They're the people and that's why Trump irks everybody. He's nothing like everybody says he is. This guy actually wants to promote people. He wants to.
I mean, if you have a value, like you've seen it, and people have been at his rallies and talks and whatever, and like there was one she was a black lady, and she said, "Well, I'm looking for a job," but she'll be looking for a job, and he goes, "Come up here." And he goes, "You can talk." He goes, "What do you do?" And she talks. He goes, "Okay, you'll be talking to this lady." He goes, "We're going to get rich. We're going to get a real good job." Who does that? Who does that? Most people would just go like, whatever, and just palm it off. But he publicly said, "I will get her a job." But then once he's done that, it's down to you, because that's the way he works.
Trying to do the job, and you got to use some brain smart to do that. You know what this is? Okay, the holiday season is upon us. There's a Christmas movie I will always watch every single year, and it's Christmas Vacation, with Cousin Eddie in it, and he's not working anywhere. And so one of the women asked his wife, "Why is he not working?" She said, "Well, he's holding out for a management job." He doesn't believe in starting at the bottom and working your way up. You can do that. That's what I tell people all the time. You don't have to go and shoot for the CEO of a company. If you'll get in, flip the burgers at a burger joint for a while, I promise you somebody's going to notice you're doing a great job. And they're going to grab you like crazy and move you up the ladder so super fast. It's incredible. We're going to have to go. Rick, what would you like to tell everybody before we go?
Okay, favorite Christmas movie for me? Christmas List with Mimi Rogers. Excellent movie. They won't ever release it, but you can see it on YouTube, where she's got the nose and she works in the perfume section of a department store. Great movie. Very humble because she's a very sweet. Mimi Rogers at that point. Yeah. That's about it.
No, this is my favorite one. The Little Shop Around the Corner. It was made in 1940s. It has Jimmy Stewart in it. It's a good guy. That's a classic. I love that movie. Okay, folks, we're going to have to let it go. Thank you so much for being with us every day, Monday through Friday, beginning at 2 p.m. Eastern Time. And also continue sending emails. You don't know how that makes my day. Every time I get an email from you, I'm just like, oh man, I can't believe it. Somebody sent me an email. I'm just like a little kid when that happens. So continue sending those. Donna at donnasedge.com. It tickles me to death. I love it. So again, thank you so much for watching. Rick, thank you so much for being with me as always.